Today we're going to talk about intentionally altering your breathing pattern during exercise as a self-exploration tool. What's very common in the exercise world is to be taught that there is a stereotypical way to breathe during a given exercise. And in many cases, that stereotypical pattern is very useful. It usually allows you to create the most force, and that's fantastic for when you are living and working in a controlled environment. The issue is that in the real world, we may need to move, exert force, or create tension regardless of the phase of respiration that we're in. So most of us have been taught, hey, when you're really trying to push something hard, let's say you're doing a bench press, you're doing a push-up, and you're struggling, do a hard exhale. Usually that will help you create more force. Fantastic. But maybe, again, in the real world, you're out walking your dog and all of a sudden your dog sees a rabbit and it takes off and you're in the middle of an inhale and you weren't able to brace. And now all of a sudden your body's getting jerked and moved in a way that it was unprepared for, and as a result, injury occurs. So one way that we combat that is to remind people that our job is to map for possibilities, right? Create brain maps for possible outcomes in the real world. So the way that we do this in breathing is very simple. 4 different characteristic breathing patterns that you want to apply in any given exercise. Now, when we do this, please make sure that you're using an exercise that is relatively lightly loaded. I'm not saying do this for a max deadlift, a max squat, or anything like that. You want to explore breathing patterns in something that you have a lot of control over. So I'm just going to demonstrate this using a squat. I'll just do a half squat so I can discuss it. So exercise number 1 is just doing the basic body weight, low load exercise with a breath hold. All right, so I'm going to take a breath in, hold my breath, go through my squat, get an idea of how that feels. Should be very, very simple. That was a full breath in, breath hold movement. So now I want to do a breath hold on a full exhale. So breathe in, blow out, hold, and go through your squat again. In neither case was I intentionally creating pressure. I was just holding my breath either on a deep inhale or a full exhale. So number 3, we're now going to do a pressurized breath hold. So now I'm going to breathe in and I'm going to bear down, creating midline pressure, abdominal pressure. Go through the squat again. All right, so that would be kind of called a Valsalva maneuver. That's not really highly recommended for a lot of people because it can make them dizzy, but many people hold their breath when they are caught by surprise. So it's something that you want to safely explore. From there, we then want to go through both an inhale and exhale during different portions of the movement. So now I'm going to inhale as I descend, exhale as I ascend. No big deal. Inhale as I go down, exhale as I come up. I then want to invert that. So I'm going to take a breath in, exhale on the way down, inhale on the way up. All very simple. But what many people find when we take them through this very, very kind of what I consider to be basic breathing exercise is they start to realize that they have patterned their exercise regimen, their favorite exercises, to a very specific breathing pattern. And what we want you to understand is that the real world requirements of moving through life safely may make you breathe differently, which will create alterations in lots of different mechanical responses in the body. So it's your job as an athlete and your job as a coach to make sure that your clients are prepared for that. So give this a shot. Let us know how it works.